Alright, cool. Welcome to the Pink Gentleman's Report.
Yo, this is the Pink Gentleman's Report with Lee, aka Mahomes, aka Leba,
And
aka Lebaone,
how many AKs do you have?
aka Hoomburger.
Bagger. Ish. But that's only for a select few people.
Yeah, like a few people. I think when I went back on Twitter, I used Hoomburger again.
Yeah.
Until somebody attacked me, calling me a hamburger because I'm gay or something. I don't know, like some troll from Nigeria just.
Dude, you and your head. Me, I'm Sibu, aka. Oh yeah, I'm Sibu. But the streets, for some reason, know me as Gerald. It's a long story.
No, I don't know that.
You don't know that?
I know your second name is Gerald.
Yeah, my second name is Gerald, but like in the streets, I go by Gerald. Like everyone introduced me like that.
Since when?
For like the past 3 years. Like if you go to Mom's, most likely people know me as Gerald, not Sibu. Sibu don't exist.
Okay.
I know, it's weird. It doesn't make sense, but hey, fuck it.
Yeah, you know, all of our names have like a history and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even something to get into, but if we're gonna talk about history, you know, let's talk about like how we met and stuff, you know. Or rather, let's begin with the whole point of the Pink Gentleman's Report.
Yeah, okay, cool, let's do that then.
I'll start. Okay, the Pink Gentleman's Report, we came to that name after consultation with a friend from who has a history in radio. I am a cisgender black man.
No, wait, am I not the one who's cisgender? Cause like
We're both cisgender. We're not trans.
oh, okay.
To be cisgender is to be your gender's in line with your sexual organs.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Okay, cool.
So we're both cisgendered
Black male.
Male men.
Yeah.
You know the wording is so.
Yeah, that's a whole topic on its own.
There's a whole topic on its own. I think I've done like a Instagram thread on it, like not to nullify the boxes people put themselves in, and to be honest, as we are talking about what the Pink Gentleman's Report is, we are going to highlight these boxes.
Yeah.
Because everybody does fall into a box, whether you like it or not.
That is
Call
true.
yourself non-binary. Non-binary is a box. It's a culture. It is a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you would not like to be it. And it doesn't mean that it is an attack on being non-binary or on being queer. Being queer is, some people live their lives on the premise that who they are is based on their gender or sexual identity, which makes sense because my blackness is who I am.
That is true.
It's a part of who I am, and so is my gayness, and so is my social status. You know, all of these things compartmentalize and make boxes in one's personality. So the idea that I had about this was to have a conversation from a cisgender black man, gay black man's perspective on life in J. Particularly, most of my work has been on social media, has been on gender and queer issues.
Yeah.
But the concept here is to not be politically correct. To just...
That's why I'm here. I feel like I am not politically correct for shit.
Yeah, and my problem is that I always try to be politically correct. You know, so I think it's a balance.
It is a balance.
You know, I'm trying not to be politically correct because, like,
but
I'm a human being.
But that goes against what, like, at the same time, it goes against what your identity as a human being.
Yeah, but being politically correct makes you sound like a fucking robot.
If
Like,
you're a robot, you're a robot.
you're trying to tiptoe, not offend anyone.
But that's, to be honest, that's much better than actually just blurting whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we're not bigots.
Yeah, we're not.
I'm not a bigot.
It's better that the fact that you actually try to be politically correct means that you are self-aware.
Mm.
And you're trying not to be problematic or like offend people.
Yes. No, we're not gonna go out here and purposefully be provocative. But the topics we'll be covering are provocative, and we are human, and every single human being has prejudices. Nobody is on a clean slate except a 2-year-old baby, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody is on a clean slate.
Yeah.
We understand. We've all lived in an environment of sorts, of some kind, which has influenced our prejudices and our preferences. The whole preference versus prejudices debate is also a big one in the LGBTQ community.
I did not know that.
You didn't?
No.
It's like especially on the apps.
Okay.
Your Grindr, especially Grindr. There's a whole movement surrounding no fats, no femmes.
Okay.
So, and obviously everybody has their prejudices, and even some of us on social media will be like, yeah, it's wrong to say you don't like fats or femmes. I'm fat. Like, I don't know. I'm chubby. I don't know if I'm... What? How do you...
You're not like me. Like, I'm your typical black male. Tall, skinny. Or like average build.
Yeah. You get those as well, and then you get, some people prefer like skinny, and there's all kinds of things. Gay men are very specific.
That I've noticed, actually.
They're very specific about what they want, and I think that's why a lot of them are single. I think that's why a lot of them are single. It's because we're trapped in these boxes and these ideas of this ideal life that we want.
Oh yeah.
The ideal partner that we want. That's why you have majority of gay men in their 40s and 50s still out here on Grindr.
But wouldn't that be like? Doesn't that stem from the fact that like in the society that we live in now, like casual sex is almost like.
I don't think it's so much about casual sex. I think casual sex stems from an underlying feeling of loneliness and a need for affection, even just for an hour. I think that's what it is for me.
Okay, cool.
Because, this is going to... Back to the point. It's going to be a subjective platform.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that is true.
A lot of the things are going to be your narrative, my narrative, your perspective, my perspective.
Yeah.
And we will also look at the perspectives of other people we research. We'll try research a topic, but it shouldn't sound like a lecture.
I know, dude.
Or a podcast that's meant to be a voice recording of a journal article. which when I was researching the initial topic for this conversation, it was going to be
dude. Out here with quotes, articles, references.
Yeah.
That was a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, you know.
But then that also stems from the fact that you wanted to be like not offend anyone. You wanted to get your facts straight.
I wanted to have my facts straight.
Yeah.
Because I also... It's not even about offending. If you look at my Twitter, I can be very offensive.
Nah, dude.
But generally, I'm offensive to people that are offensive.
Nah.
So, no, really.
Your Twitter is chill. Like, dude, it's chill.
Yeah, because I'm not out here trying to get gains because I'm just trying to be edgy.
You're not cloud chasing.
I'm not cloud chasing, If I am on a follow train, it's because I do content and I want my work to get out there. And my work, when it comes to social media or publicity, any form of publicity, it stems from my activism.
Yeah.
My gender and queer rights activism. You understand? And even the word queer, it took me I came to terms with it in the past year or two because I didn't like it. Prejudices.
Okay.
You understand?
I understand.
Being a self-loathing gay.
That I do not know much about.
Well,
sadly.
I mean, if people have hated you your whole life because of who you are, you end up hating yourself, right?
Yeah, true. You internalize a lot of like all that.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, seeing as I'm the one that's talking a lot, let me just wrap up by saying my earliest memory of you. See,
All right.
I was like walking. I'd been living here. It was 2006. I'd been living here for like 3 months. Bored as fuck. Just like going back to the old neighborhood because my friends were there. You know, I was in grade 9, and then one of my friends came. He came, and he came to visit me for like the holidays, and we were walking. I don't know where we were walking from because it's definitely not the shops. There were no shops.
Yeah, they were.
There were no shops here, you know. We were walking and we walked past this group of kids, you know. This multiracial group of kids. It was Kayla, it was Candace, it was you, it was Kayla's little sister, it was Tumelo. I'm gonna name the people.
Name them.
It was Tumelo, who I saw from a distance is gay. You know, but we just waved and then turned the corner because you live around the corner from me. Sibu lives around the corner from me. And I went to my house. And like a minute later, there's like a knock on the door. And it's this colored girl and this big boned white girl.
Yeah.
It was Kayla.
Yeah, Kayla's white.
And I don't remember what. They were just looking for friends. I don't know if you guys had also just moved in or what. But
No.
like
You moved in 2006, right?
yeah.
We moved in 2005.
Yeah.
Early 2000, January 2005.
So I'm sure seeing young people it's exciting, you know.
Like when we first got here,
There was nothing.
They were like, forget nothing. You had no friends.
You
You
had
were
no
lucky
friends.
if you had to find a friend. I was lucky at least. Like I made the melody, like you mentioned. I was lucky enough. Like first day of grade 6 in 2005, we were in the same class, and then like he stood up. Like they asked, okay, you know the new kids. They will ask you, okay, who are you? Where you from? Where do you live? He's like, I'm Tumelo. I live in Woodland Acres Estate. I'm like, this nigga live right in my neighborhood.
A block away.
It wasn't a block away. It was like 2 blocks away, but nonetheless. I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
But, he lived at that other.
Yeah, the other side.
So, yeah. So that's my... And I was friends with Candace first.
Who's my older sister, by the way.
Yeah. So, and then there's this family called, Sibu's family. It was the first time I've seen, like, a real Rainbow Nation family.
You know Rainbow Nation. I feel like we are a blended family.
Yes, blended because you're colored and black, but, like, still Rainbow Nation.
Yeah, colored black. We speak multiple languages.
Yeah, which is really cool. And you guys never treated each other like step-siblings.
Dude, it's impossible. Like, can I tell you why we never did? Because I think my mom, okay, my dad and my stepmother got married in 99. No, end of 2000. Wait, no. Yeah, end of 2000 or 99, one of those two. And then I moved in with my mom and my stepdad December of 2000, right? First day, I met Candace, right? We're chilling, okay, getting to know each
Your
other.
mom and stepdad or your...
Wait, no, my dad and my stepmom.
Yeah.
We're chilling. First day, right? She will deny this to this day. Even if you ask her now, she will deny it. First day, she tried to kill me.
I can see it!
She tried to kill me.
Candace was a crazy bad bitch back in the day.
Number one, we had a swimming pool when we still lived in Centurion.
Yeah.
Right? So we're playing outside, there's a spider. She pushed me in. She says I jumped, but I swear she pushed me in. Because next thing I know, I found myself in the middle of the pool.
And you couldn't swim.
And I couldn't swim.
Can you swim now?
No.
You've been living with pools for the past 20 years and you still can't swim.
Yeah. Dog, so swimming is not a life skill that I need right now.
Some people say I don't qualify as black because I've been swimming since I was 5.
Nah, dude. I can float. That's all that matters. I can float. You see, I can be at a pool party. You can throw me in. I will survive. That's all that matters.
But you can't. You can't do.
I ain't gonna hit no breaststroke. I ain't hit no freestyle. Nothing. But I will survive.
If you're drowning, I can save you. Don't ask me how. I can save you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the basics to survive. Everything else,
So
not
then the memory's still the same, right? The memory of how we met.
No, my
Huh?
memory is different.
What's your memory?
My memory is like I was at Cliff's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back when I still had a bike out here in these streets, and then you guys were across the street at Kayla's house, and I just come back from Cliff's house because we had a curfew back then.
Across the street.
Yeah.
Cliff's house.
No. You guys were across the street at Kayla's house, across from my house.
Oh yeah.
I came in, I see my sister outside, like she calls me, I'm like, oh, this is Lee, this is whoever. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? That's my first memory of you. You're talking about having a party and like your theme was gonna be all white.
Yeah, it was just before September because when I was in high school, right? Because we moved out of the crib in Montana and we moved here in 2006. So my brother got the crib there.
Mm-hmm.
So I first had my birthday party there. I used to have like parties, and my parents knew in terms of like my birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a lot of pressure because I went to school and I needed to impress these rich kids, and yeah. So I think my parents felt the pressure too. So they indulged me, but now I had moved. You see, so now my brother's the one who's doing the supervision.
Mm-hmm.
So I had previously had a spring, every first weekend of spring, I invite people. So then I was talking about having that all white party for the spring thing, but I think me and my crew had a crew.
Gang.
We were the only ones in white.
And I feel like I told you that day that was gonna happen. You're gonna see people coming in like all black or whatever, not following the theme.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, all white. If you're not wearing all white, you leave.
Yeah, you know, because I don't know. There was all white was a thing back then in the early 2000s. No, but it was a thing because remember Puffy, you know, like had that yacht party, that all white.
It still is to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop, bruh.
Dude.
I think the last all white party I went to was in Atteridgeville in 2009, on December 26th.
Cool Boxing Day.
Yeah, after matric vac and that disaster, that will be a topic of its own.
Yeah. Oof.
So yeah, you're saying earliest memory. And
Yeah.
Then,
2000. Yeah, same day you're talking about. And from there on, you were mostly just friends with my sister though.
And then we made friends with Sammy, and then we got into the whole. You guys had a curfew, so Candace couldn't go out as much as we did, you know. But I made friends with like Mitch and Sammy in the same year, and Mitch went to St. Albans, and that's a whole other pressure of its own now because you know you've moved into this area. And there are these rich kids who go to schools that are even richer than the school you go to, even though the school you go to is rich, you know. So
surprisingly,
so it just like I'm saying, environment.
Yeah, it's like it was a melting pot. Like there was money, and then there was money.
There was
money.
And you always want to climb, you know.
You want to climb, you want to fit in.
And even the masculinity element, which is going to be a topic of its own.
That is so true. I did not realize this, right? When we still lived in Centurion, when we came here. Like, I don't know, maybe it's Victoria East or whatever. But, like, it's a whole, like, the pressures on this side are, like...
There are lots.
I mean, like, in grade 6, people were already, like, out here partying and drinking. I'm like, my guys, like, I'm trying to play, like, Pokemon and shit like that. But you guys are out here in the streets. I'm like, okay...
Okay, I don't know about grade... Okay, in grade 6, when I was in government school, they were doing that. But I was like a nerd. So, yeah, I didn't really fucks with that. It's only when I got to grade 8 and I moved to this new school, and I was still living in the old neighborhood. But because of I got a lot of abuse or bullying because I was gay. Well, now I know I'm gay. Back then it was...
you were fighting it hard.
I was fighting it hard. So when I got to high school, I, began to be trying to be more masculine, masculine presenting rather. And it's a survival technique.
Yeah. Like, kids are the worst bullies in the world.
So obviously schools like St. Albans where my friend Mitch went to. Those are the epitome of masculinity. And then you get your boys' highs, which is hyper masculinity. You know, I haven't really fucked with Afis and all of that, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
In terms of like what masculinity really is. So you end up watching these people and surrounding yourself with these people and picking up traits of what masculinity is.
Or it's supposed to be.
Or it's supposed to be. And in turn, you actually end up hating femininity. Well, for me, in my personal experience. Like,
Which actually brings up a good point, right? In primary school, I don't know about it. Like
but you're a year too younger than me, right?
You're younger.
Yeah, but you were 2 years behind.
Yeah. Like in primary school, I've known since day one that I'm a straight male, straight identified and all that. But at the same time, I've always been in touch with my femininity. Like I could like do things that would be perceived as gay, just because I felt like it.
Yeah, but
and that also comes down to the fact that I was not surrounded by like hyper masculine people. In a sense, I could be me if I wanted to be. Like if today I decided, hey, I want to call myself beautiful, gorgeous. Hey man, I'm beautiful, gorgeous.
You know, back then it was a problem, but now you can call yourself beautiful, gorgeous.
Dude, even back then, I was calling myself beautiful, gorgeous.
You see, but imagine, but where I came from, which was a neighborhood, it was a very middle class neighborhood. It wasn't upper class.
Same here.
So a lot of the people that lived there were from the township. Now, something people don't know about me is that I've never actually lived in a township. You know, I lived in a rural area for like a year.
Dude, township's life is the one.
No, I grew there, but now I'm gonna sound like a...
Dude, don't worry, I also grew there. Like...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, I never... In Mafikeng, even the units, they weren't townships. The township was Msiwa. Insuseng was like the rural... We lived in the housing units, which were like suburbs.
Okay,
you know.
I get it.
So you get like the well-off people, especially Unit 6. I lived in Unit 9, but most of our family friends were in Unit 6. So it was a suburb lifestyle. And then while my parents were transitioning to Gauteng, my dad was still in Mafikeng at the time, I stayed with my gran in a rural area where I wasn't allowed to go out and play. You understand? So I wasn't really exposed. I was only exposed at school.
Oh, okay,
to people like that, and it was a private school on that, so
like it's not like the authentic experience, or it's not like a proper representation of what people who grew up in the township are like.
And then when I got to Pretoria for grade 1 and 2, I changed schools from Sunnyside Primary to Northridge. You know, things intensified at Northridge because here's this kid who who's with us. I'm trying to look at it from their perspective, the other kids I went to school with, who speaks English fluently. He doesn't know township life. He can't speak the township language. Mind you, I can speak my language properly because I'm from Northwest, and at home we speak Setswana.
But you don't speak Spitori.
But we don't speak Spitori.
Yeah.
You know, so some people wouldn't understand me, so then I would just speak English only. Yeah. And because I started reading at a very young age, my English was very good. By grade 4, I had a matric level reading level, and I could speak well. You know, so I was subjected to a lot of bullying. I was bullied for that. I was bullied because, you know, my family was more well off than a lot of the people in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I was more well off than the kids I went to school with. And on top of that, I was feminine and fat as hell.
I still don't like. You show me one of your baby pictures. I need to see.
Not when I was a baby.
Okay, like primary school. For me, that's a baby
yeah.
picture.
No, primary school. I was a fat kid, like proper. I still am a fat kid, but you know, I'm chubby now. It's more acceptable. I'm not like obese.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, fat people need love too.
That is true. We ain't gonna deny.
So yeah, that's basically the childhood aspect of it. Had a pretty much good childhood, except there was like a year of trauma when I lived in Northwest. I'll talk about that one day. But it's funny, we don't actually have a topic today. We're just introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. There will be topics
Going forward.
Going forward. This is just impromptu, just to ease us into it. Also because like I've been very anxious about producing something like this. Sibu's been very, very chilled.
Okay. I want to say this in my defense. When have you ever seen me stressed?
I suppose.
Like, at a very young age, I developed a just fuck it attitude.
And I don't have that attitude. I'm still like
I'm at a point, sometimes I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes I freak out, but then I'm like, dude, you're freaking out. It doesn't change anything. Fuck it. Like, yo.
And I wish I had that attitude. I worry about everything. The smallest things. Even my students, by the way, I tutor law students, Mahuma School of Legal Excellence.
Plug.
Hit me up. Look it up on Facebook. I got you. I also post the link on the Pink Gentleman's Report Twitter page, which is coming up as soon as this drops.
Yes.
Yeah. So, where was I? Yeah, living in that neighborhood and being different. I imagine I was different in every single way. I was not your typical black child 5 years into democracy. If you think about it, I was not. I was the idea of what the typical black child is supposed to be 5 years into democracy, but I wasn't quite.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
I wasn't. I wasn't. I was different. I was still different, and I don't like saying it, but I think it's the treatment I received stemmed from jealousy.
No, it does actually. Like, it's also one of those like growing up as well. Like, my dad's well off. He does his thing. Good at what he does.
Yeah.
And then like, so I live with my mom and my stepdad, my stepmother and my dad, and then my mom lives in Northbury, in the township, right? And it's like, it's not a secret that my dad lives in Pretoria, has this big fancy job. So anytime I'd go back, certain kids would actually treat me different.
Yes.
Because of who.
Yes.
My dad is, or like, because whenever my dad comes to come pick me up, he comes pick me up in a fancy car in their eyes. But like, to me, I'm like, oh, dude, I don't have a choice in this.
Yeah.
It's my dad. Like some kid actually once made me cry. To this day, I'm pissed at myself for crying.
Nah, they make you cry, dog. They make you cry.
Like, it got to a point, I even told my mom, like, she's like, she tried to console me. And then somehow, in consoling me, she gave me the nickname Cheese Boy.
Yeah, I remember
like,
your Uncle Joey used to call you Cheese Boy.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where, like, I just accepted, like, hey, dude, this is my life. I can't change shit.
They used to call me Cheese Boy, and it was out of bullying.
No. For me, like, they initially started out of bullying, but then, because my mom also called me that, and she always said it out of love, it just became that thing, like, oh, dude, Cheese Boy.
Yeah.
It is who I am.
Yeah. No, I was called Cheese Boy, but it was always out of bullying. So...
Which is... I don't know. Like, I don't understand that
I still
one.
don't like it.
No, dude, I don't understand it. Cheese Boy.
Cheese is expensive.
Cheese is delicious.
Yes, and it's expensive and it's soft. That's where it comes from.
Okay.
In Zimbabwe, they call them salads. I know this because the school I went to, Christian Brothers College, there's like 7 of them in Southern Africa, if not more. And one of them is in Bulawayo, in Zimbabwe. And we were hosting the Inter-CBC, which is where the CBCs in Southern Africa come together at one CBC to play sports against each other.
Yeah.
So the boarding house at my school had closed down like 1997, 99 or early 2000s. So when we would host, some boys would go to the houses, especially the Bulawayo boys, because the Zimbabwean economy, it was just too expensive to put them in hotels.
Yeah.
Even though this was the rich kids of Zimbabwe, you understand?
Yeah.
And these guys are like gentlemen, bro, like gentlemen to the T. And they explained to me, like, they're like, no, we call them salads, the ones that are the rich kids out there. And It makes sense though.
It makes sense, but like it's a very weird nickname in terms of like bullying, like salads.
I mean, because it's soft. It's
It's
not
soft.
hardcore.
It's not hardcore,
But-
and at the same
but
time,
the
also
way-
the image that people have of salads.
The way you see it, being soft is okay.
dude,
Do you understand? But
Yeah.
the way other people see it, remember we live in a hyper-masculine society.
oh yeah, true. So like
Where-
everyone has to be the tough guy.
Yeah, and being soft,
Is like your instant target. Like
yeah,
Okay.
you're vulnerable. You know,
I always thought to change one day. Hey,
it will slowly but surely.
like dude,
I think.
do you know how beautiful it is to be soft and vulnerable?
Yeah, no, and then people take advantage of you.
It is what it is, but it's better than being hyper masculine and like aggressive for no reason.
Yeah, and then bottoms want you more because you're gonna handle them in bed, rough. And
That-
women, it's thug mentality. Thugs are actually eroticized, even in pornography.
Oh yeah. Just look at the titles.
Exactly. So it's the tougher, the rougher, the better. You know, it's danger is an aphrodisiac.
Which is like okay.
So I think that's the main issue, and will it ever change?
No.
The thing is, change happens in certain places at certain degrees and at certain paces.
Yeah,
You understand?
and it can change today, but go back to how it was tomorrow.
Exactly. So that's my issue with the whole change thing, is that things will be different for my kids and maybe your kids, but
They
for
won't be.
that kid who lives in Deep Sloot, how long will it take for him to get things different for his kids? You know.
That's actually something that I realized like a couple of weeks back when I was scrolling through my Twitter, and then I realized like everything that happens on my timeline, in a sense, happens in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like I follow very little people. I engage with very little people. So like everything is like in a small vacuum, and almost everyone has a sort of similar ideologies.
Mm.
So like when I see the outrage on certain things, I'm like, okay, cool. I understand where you guys are coming from. But like, there's a majority of people who do not believe the exact same thing as us.
Exactly. The majority of people don't. Like how my Twitter is somewhat LGBTQ friendly, even the straight people, you know, that's not South Africa.
Yeah, that is not.
That's not South Africa.
So we are very homophobic,
We're very homophobic.
very violent.
Very violent. Women are possessions. We refer to them as stock, which is colloquial slang in the vernacular for stock, as in like
Goods to be
production-
traded.
goods to be traded, or bought or exchanged.
Yes.
You know, ownership and control and power.
Oh yes.
You know, and these are the things that the black man in South Africa aspires to.
Okay.
Because the white man has always had it. Ownership, control, and power.
Which also comes back to that thing where like they say, what is it now? Black men do not want equality; they just want power. In a sense.
Yes, they just want to have what the white man has.
Yeah.
You know,
Hence why they're not as vocal about certain things that are actually happening.
I was actually explaining to someone, we were talking about why, it was on Twitter actually, a random person, why do black men cheat or want multiple people? And, you know, I'm all for polyamory. There's a difference between cheating and where it's a dynamic that's been discussed with the parties involved.
Oh, dude,
and
there's a
knowledge.
huge fucking
There's a
difference.
big difference. Whereas with South African men, or maybe let's say men in general, it becomes more about acquisition. And what do
Looking
they
like a
call
big
it?
dog.
Penis size obsession. They proportionate. The more women you have, the more sexual power you have. It means the more people you can satisfy, and thus more people are dick whipped by you, and dick whip equals power.
which actually comes down like to another.
It ends up being rape culture.
No, it also comes down to another observation that I made, which is, as much as they say like, okay, no, I've had all these different partners, I have this powerful dick. When you actually look further deep into it, like sex with like, speaking from like a straight man side, for like a lot of straight guys, it tends to be very one-sided.
Yeah, just bust and leave. No, gay men too.
Gay men too.
Tops. Few tops make
What
their
about
bottoms
pleasure?
come.
Dude, what about pleasure?
I think there's been one guy who's made me come properly.
Like, which is weird for me because like I can't just fuck. I've tried.
Or you aim to please. Look, it is pleasurable.
No. It's not I aim to please. That's how I get my pleasure.
From pleasuring the other person.
Yeah.
Yes. But you find that with tops, it's about, you think he is getting pleasure, but you finish, and he didn't climax. He didn't reach the point that you reach.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine, they do say 66% or something, 2/3 of women, or the majority of women, don't ever have an orgasm in their lives.
Dude, that hurts my soul.
So it's the same with the bottom, like with
Do you
penetration.
know how beautiful orgasming is?
Don't talk to me about. Okay, you can talk about pussy. Let's.
No, I'm not talking about like vaginas or nothing like that. No.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the feeling, the sensation. Like,
the sensation is great.
Like afterwards, like, ooh, you know what? Nah? Yeah, that was dope. That's a flashback. Like, yeah, that was the one.
So you can imagine for me when I had that like one guy that made me come, I was like, yo,
stigmatized.
Yeah, I was stigmatized. But I've also had guys who hit it right. It's just that if they just held on 2 minutes later and kept at that pace, I'd be good. But then my things are too tight.
It's not even that. It's like masturbation is the problem.
Yeah. No, but is it?
It is a problem. A lot of people just masturbate just to bust them down.
Yeah, to be as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And I think I think the problem is porn, actually.
Oh yeah, that is true.
The problem is porn. It's not masturbation to bust a nut. I find that if you use your imagination, you last longer. But if you're watching porn, everything happens so quickly that you just release, and you want that sensation all the time, or or when you're having sex, not out of wanting pleasure, but to release, to de-stress. You understand? And you'll do whatever it takes. Instant gratification. It's like drugs.
Yeah.
Instant gratification.
That reminds me of the one time I could not get it up.
How do you guys have that problem at your age, guys?
Dude, I also do not know. Okay, I kind of know why, but at the same time...
Oh, I know why.
Why?
Can we say...
No, we won't beat this. But like...
I know why. Yeah, no, it happens.
Like,
yeah, it happens. Obviously, if you're going to take substances to a certain point, your mind gets aroused, your body's aroused, but certain parts of your body cannot get it.
At one time, I looked down at my penis, I'm like, you had one job, my man. One job.
Exactly. No, I don't. For me, it's never happened like that.
Like, I hope it never happens to you. It is so crushing.
Because that's another thing. That's how we define our masculinity.
No. Okay, yeah, you're right about that. But like, not besides your masculinity part, like, just like, my body betrayed me. Like, the one thing I counted on, dololo.
Yeah, to give you the one thing that gives you pleasure for free.
Dololo.
Like, for free. The easiest way.
Like, nothing happened. The blood was flowing, but nothing happened.
Yeah, so... I think we should wrap up, bro.
Nah, dog. Why are you in a rush for?
You think we should keep going?
Yeah, what are you in a rush for?
Okay.
Time is forever.
I think, like, bad sex. The worst is when you're in love with someone and they give you bad sex.
I would never know.
You wouldn't know.
No.
No, I know. I just can't put my finger on it on who it was. Yes, that is the amount of people I've slept with.
You are.
But I do remember. I know that there was a time I was putting up. Yes, no, it's a very recent relationship actually.
Do I know the person?
Yes, but in his defense,
Did I keep track? Oh wait, was it the? I mean, the person, right? But was at that point in time, was I keeping track of what was happening with you? Because there's times when I zone out with your partner.
Yeah, no, but it actually all started here, the sex thing. In this very
shit.
room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it wasn't. It could have gotten better. The problem is that he hadn't had a sexual relationship with anyone, a real sexual relationship with anyone, until he started having. When I say real, I don't mean like lose your virginity. He had lost his virginity to one other person, a woman, and now all of a sudden he's sexually attracted to this guy, and he's having sex with this guy, who is very experienced. But the sex wasn't so good. But I loved him nevertheless, and it was something. But how do you tell someone that? I tried the whole let's try this, let's try that. He was just stubborn. For him, it was about busting a nut.
Okay, yeah.
It was about busting a nut, and this position is the position that works for him to bust the nut. And that's what's gonna work. He needs to do it. He needs to do it now. And I blame the fact that he was an avid porn watcher.
Okay, cool.
So I think that's where it stems from. And I'm not against pornography, but too much of a nice thing is not good.
Even me, I cut down.
It has negative, and it also has to do with time. I mean, when you have a life being like work.
Yeah.
Maybe even if you're not in a relationship, but if you work, like, how much, maybe that's why people watch the 2-minute clips on Twitter for porn, which is probably the problem, because you want to bust in 2 minutes.
True.
So
none of that. It gives you like snippets. That's the highlights, the best parts.
Exactly. So the mind is not being trained.
It's been reprogrammed differently.
Exactly. So obviously, if that's the case, then when you are doing it in practice, you are like, why must I do it like that? With the way he wants me to do it. Let me just do it to bust the nut. And you hear him moaning, or her, and you think that they're happy. And, you're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting there, but you're not yet there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's over. It's a bit frustrating. And I think that's why a lot of people end up cheating.
Really?
Yeah. That's how people are able to separate sex from emotions. It's because...
they see it as just an act.
As just an act. If you love someone and they're not satisfying you sexually, you want the act but not the love from someone else and keep them. You want
both. You want to be albino best of both worlds.
Yeah, you want to have your cake and eat it. It's greed as well, but is it justifiable? I mean, your partner's not listening to you. He's not trying to hear the fact that you're not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also get the men who, like, I dated a guy who had a below average penis, and he had a complex about it, and like, I was like, but babe, you're good though, like, you know how to work it. And he's like, nah. Yeah. Back from the break, the unexpected break. Our equipment isn't as high tech as it can be.
Still starting out.
We're still starting out. We ain't got no advertisers yet. We ain't got no advertisers. Hint, hint. Oh yeah. Which, speaking of like equipment and starting out, I've been trying to listen to podcasts, bruh. Especially like the queer narratives. There's nothing South African that I could find on Google. And imagine if you're an average homosexual person that's lazy to do any research. I think I was as well. No, I was just busy. But you find these white American podcasts.
And like the white gay life is not the same as the
white
black
American gay life is not the same.
Just in general, white gay life is not.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So I was like, okay, no, there's actually a need for a podcast like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
hopefully on one of the episodes we'll talk about my one time when I tested my sexuality.
I think a lot of people do that. It's just no one talks about it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you know, how many straight guys have I slept with?
No, okay, number one, I can never be sure if they were actually straight or like, you know, like this. Like you can be straight, but then you can be like a man.
It's a spectrum.
Man, like it's a whole spectrum.
For me, I respect a guy's choice of label.
Mm-hmm.
If you call yourself straight, then you're straight to me. Just because you like having sex with men does not mean I cannot tell you who you are.
Yeah.
I cannot say this is who you are. Accept yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Come out of the closet.
Yeah.
You know. Hell, I'll show you a good time and you'll realize it.
If that is what.
But as well, you also get men who don't, you know, have emotional connections to other men, but they enjoy the sex. They like the act.
I realized during my one try, I always knew I was straight, but I'm a very inquisitive person, so there's always that voice in the back of my head,
like most men.
Like, dude, are you really straight?
How do you know if you don't try it out?
No. Like, are you really straight? I'm like, yeah, I'm really straight. But then I found myself in a situation where, like,
hey, let it out.
Where I was with a friend, right, and a couple of other people. So, in this story, I'm gonna redact some people's names because, like, I don't know where they stand with their partners and like.
Yeah, no names.
How they
Let's
identify
not
themselves.
out people and their experiences.
So, like, it happened, right? We're drinking, and then someone suggested, like, we have a friend who had a gay friend, right? And like he'd recently come out the closet, even though like we'd known since day one, homie, you like dudes, but you know, even when they came out, like, dude,
I know
we've been known. So we decided, you know what, dude, today we're gonna get you some dick. Jiggy in the car. La Cantina. So we go to La Cantina, it's a vibe. Come back. Like now, like on our way back home, we pick up a gang of people.
You picked them up at La Cantina?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gang of people, like, so now we go back to the house. Like this is the first time in my life I've seen a full blown orgy happening. Like, and this time, I'm just chilling. I'm drinking. I'm just chilling and drinking. This guy sits next to me. Gets comfy. I'm like, okay, cool. So this guy likes me. All right, cool. What am I going to... I thought to myself for like a second, what am I going to do about this? I'm like, let's see where it goes. Screw it. Let's see what happens. Kissed him. I'm like, all right, cool. Kiss the guy.
Felt nothing.
I felt nothing. Started giving me head. I'm like, okay, cool. Head's fire. But I still feel nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, alright, you know.
And we're not saying like you have to try to know if you like it or not.
It's down to you as a person. Like, I'm inquisitive, naturally.
There are people that are inquisitive, and I think a lot of people who, the straight identifying men that I've been with, I don't consider myself discreet as in closet.
Yeah.
But your business is your business. I'm not here to out you. You know, give me what I want, and I'll give you what you want. Your experiment, we'll do it. I had a whole, it's not a relationship or a situationship or...
A ting.
I had a ting with someone where it was like once a week or twice a week we would do the thing. Graduated from head to actual sex and all of that. And it was because, fine, around my friends knew we were sleeping together because, you know, I'm out of the closet. But around his friends...
Not even that. And any nigga you bring around, I was like, dog.
Yeah, any new nigga that's around, they know.
They piping.
Down.
They piping.
They're piping, yeah.
If they're not piping,
but
they're in transit.
If we're with his friends, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, hey, baby. And it's not that, hell, fuck that shit. If your closet is your closet, I am in no position to
to put like
to put pressure on you to come out of the closet.
No.
You know, especially if I'm not planning a life with you. You know, obviously it's a different ball game now. If you are planning on moving into your own place together and all of that, how does it work?
A dog. Like people need to know where y'all stand.
If it's a sexual based relationship, then your closet is your closet. You know, I'm in no position, even if it's starting off as romantic. You know, just don't expect me to be in a closet around my friends.
Nah.
That's not gonna happen. So a lot of
we'd even look at you funny like what's
a lot of straight identifying curious or bi-curious or closet men find me attractive for that reason. The fact that I won't out them, and also even straight men, you know, I can tell when a straight identifying man or a closet man wants me. It's just body language, the things he says. Usually it will be around a group of people, we're having conversation, and then all of a sudden we have each other's numbers and we're chatting, and you know, it graduates. It goes higher and higher.
Yeah.
So I know when a guy wants me, and cool, I'll be like, okay, I'm in or I'm out or whatever, you know, you're not my type or you are my type, let's do this. But I'm not going to out him, and he knows that, and that's why he's comfortable doing it. You know, so I think the narrative needs to change. This whole thing of you must out them these closet cases. Mind you, for a lot of gay men, especially bottoms, I'm not bottom shaming, guys. I'm a bottom, but I know my people. You know, I'm my own person, but I'm just saying
on certain things you can talk for your people.
Yeah, I can talk for my people. They love straight men. Even a gay top guy, his fantasy is a straight man, not a gay man.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Masculinity.
That is so weird for me, though.
It is.
No, because like I've had moments like dude, I go anywhere, I chill with anyone, I don't care, naturally. Like I even just randomly sometimes go to like a dinner by myself, just to drink.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I've been propositioned at like a dinner. I was
Dude,
with my boyfriend. I went
to the bathroom.
To the bathroom. Money, like someone's like, you can suck my dick. I'm like, okay. And he's like, 50 rand first. That time I'm on my knees. And I'm like, no.
Dude, that's not even...
And that time I'm not sober. I'm still like, no.
Dude, I'm in the line to pee. This man's trying to get me to come home to go with him to Centurion. I'm like, Centurion.
That time, how you getting home?
No.
Are you even sure he's gonna bring you back?
Not even that. I'm like, dude, I'm straight. It's like, nah, come, you know, I've got this, I've got that.
Yeah, the pink rand.
But I'm straight, dude. Like
it's called the pink rand.
And on top of that, I am not the most masculine presenting guy.
You are. You're not the most, but you're not gay either, and it's obvious that you're not gay.
Yeah,
but as well, you're handsome and dark skinned.
Please, don't flatter me.
I'm just like calling out the facts. So obviously, you are attractive to some people. Even with me, you know, like I'm not the most masculine person, but I'm also not the most feminine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even remember what the term for it is. So I appeal to bottoms that are feminine because they want a masculine top, and I appeal to tops that are masculine or feminine that want a masculine bottom. You understand? So
wait, give me a moment to like paint this picture in my head real quick.
Basically, if you're masculine, you rule the world. You can have whatever you want.
Yeah, okay.
You can have whatever you want.
Which is a problem.
Which is the problem.
Because it feeds into toxic masculinity.
Yeah. It's power. Which is why, like, tops feel like they are... and I think it's the issues I've been having in relationships is they feel that they're special. That they're a rare catch. And can use and dispose of you as they wish because they can have any bottom they want. And you know what? They
That's
can.
true.
Because bottoms put them on a pedestal. He's a top and there aren't that many tops. They call it the scramble for tops. You know?
Yeah.
There aren't that many. Go on Grindr, bruh.
No, I will you will never find me on Grindr.
No, but I'm just saying,
from
like,
how
if
you
you just
described it, it is the wild, wild west. There are no rules in this shit.
yeah, it is. But sometimes it gets boring, you know. But like,
Actually, I have a question. Is there a Grindr for lesbians as well?
they use Tinder, but there is. I was looking up these apps this weekend, and there's quite a lot. There's even ones for threesomes, and ones for black dating, black love, and ones for trans. There's everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you're into, it's there.
There's an app for it.
There's an app for it.
Okay.
But I prefer. I'm actually starting to prefer Tinder. Guys on Tinder also want hookups, but they just tend to be a bit more decent than guys on Grindr. I'm
Yeah.
not. My perspective of what decent is, you know, there are times when I just want to fuck. But then as well, I want to be treated like I'm a human being.
But
Like,
I always had this question though, in terms of like gay relationships and like as a queer man, like do you not feel like the like grind and all that just perpetuates like just sexuality only, like not actually getting into a relationship?
Yes,
Like
it
everything,
sexualizes
like-
it. Yeah.
Like
And the problem
it
we
feeds
have is
into
that
this
we
like
actually
narrative
look,
that like
we look for relationships on Grindr. Like I was saying,
which you should be doing, because like this whole thing of just like okay no just want sex, it's for what? Like what's it leading to is like, how do I explain my thought real quick?
no, it's look. Some people just want sex, and other people want relationships. That's why there's categories. There's a category called looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and then you select relationship, chats, dates, right now, which means right now.
I'm gonna actually download
And
one
you can have multiple categories. Something that Tinder doesn't have. So with
Tinder, you just swipe right, left, right, left.
right, left, and then at least there's conversation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Grindr, people tend to want you to get straight to the point. They've seen your profile. Tinder has less descriptive information on the profile. You actually have to talk to someone.
Yeah.
To get to know them and what they are, what their role is,
And what they're looking for.
and what they're looking for. You know, whereas in Grindr, like it's there, it's now.
It's basically like the old school classifieds in the newspaper.
Yeah. So I think that's the only thing. But I mean, we use it for different reasons, and sometimes I feel guilty for using it because I end up lying about what I'm actually looking for. You know, because I'm just like, what I need now and what I actually need might not be mutually exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and now I'm engaged in a sexual relationship with someone, which is supposed to be purely sexual, and then I catch feelings. You know,
you stay catching feelings.
I stay catching feelings, man.
Like, yo.
I'm not built for no strings attached.
Yo, you're not like as much as you may try and deny it, you are not built for the streets. The streets will eat you up and swallow you alive.
I'm not built for no strings attached, and I need to stop shaming myself for it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Pick your poison and just die with it once.
yeah.
You want a relationship. You want to be wine, dined, cuddled.
Yeah. I want a real thing. And I don't ask for much. I just want like communication, respect. Communication is key for me. I don't like uncertainty. Being left in the clouds, not knowing what the is going on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying I want you to send me your live location for 8 hours. You know, I just want to know, what are you up to? You know, how is your day going? Good morning, good night. Is that a lot?
No. It's
For
a
some
bare
people,
minimum.
For some people, it really is. I want to see you once a week because we're not living together. And if we're not in a long distance relationship, why am I not seeing you? why is my relationship feeling like it's long distance? I want affection. I want respect. And that's another thing I've realized about like substances, especially alcohol and relationships, is that sometimes they clash in terms of the respect angle.
Okay, explain more.
No, I've just been in situations where, dude, people drink, hey, all the time, and it's so socially.
I used to be one of them.
Yeah, so it's so socially acceptable that now the alcohol is a part of the relationship, and you have to understand that he needs to go drink.
Or like, oh, today's Saturday, he drinking.
He's drinking, so I can't call him. Or he disappears for the whole weekend, you know, or when you are together and you're drinking, now you do something he doesn't like, or he does something you don't like, and it becomes an argument, and it just gets out of hand publicly.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understand? So in front of people, and that's humiliating.
That
So for me, alcohol can really be a catalyst in a relationship. So I try to ask and observe, how much do you drink? If I know you drink every weekend, I know red flag.
But isn't that like, okay, maybe there's
That's most men. I've even tried the older ones. It's the same thing.
okay.
It's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, that is true.
And I feel like it's also got to do with growing up. Like, you don't grow up. How are you drunk the whole weekend?
Dude, not even that.
The whole week? Or somebody that's unemployed. Like, I'd be chatting to a guy that I haven't met, but a prospective boyfriend. And he doesn't have a job. He's asking me for data, but he's always drunk. Like, he drinks every day. So my thing is, why the fuck are the people that are buying you alcohol not buying you data? And now I must buy you data, and most of it goes to Instagram, not even to video call me. What am I a priority? Because now you're fighting Instagram and alcohol and friends. You know, all I want is somebody who's, if I buy you data, I don't mind. I've learned not to. I've learned the hard way.
Not to buy data.
Not to buy data early in a relationship. Because I'd buy it because I get frustrated because you don't have data, so I can't communicate with you. You know. But now I've learned, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. And
Dude.
niggas try to ask.
That's
They try to ask, and I straight up tell them, it's too early for that.
that is okay.
And data's cheap, but as well, it's my money that I work for, first of all, and I'm buying you data because I want to communicate with you. Why is 1 gig of data going in a day? But you haven't video called me.
True.
It's because your ass is on Instagram.
True.
Or Grindr. Grindr also fucking charges data.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go on Grindr when I'm not on Wi-Fi at home. And if I do, if I'm like in a place where I'm just in the mood. But if I go out, I have data.
Yeah.
Well, I try to. Lately, I'm just, with a new business and just sorting out your finances and all of that. I'm doing trial and error in terms of that. And, yeah. And finances are also like a big thing, like, I actually don't want to talk about.
Well, that's a
whole other issue on its own.
Because like I have so much to say about that. From from the random observations I've had.
Yeah.
Like, I know as much as like straight men, like our relationships are very transactional. Like from what I've seen with like queer relationships, you guys like spend a lot.
Who spends a lot?
Who
in the relationship spends a lot? It's usually one person.
Yeah, it's always usually one person. Yes. But like in your guys' case, like it's all like it's for me it appears
It's
as though
excessive.
like you guys spend too much. Like guys, like you don't have to be going out every single weekend. You don't have to be like going to these fancy events, whatever.
Guys, I want boring
Just
Friday
chill.
nights. Like, just chill. Like,
Like,
if we're going out, let's go meet our friends for dinner or go.
If you're going out, I'm taking you to dinner. Like
Yeah.
it's like the same with me. Like me and my girlfriend. we're honestly homebodies.
Exactly.
If we go out, it's generally just the two of us.
Honestly, you know, I feel like the whole somebody that parties every weekend thing, that's a compromise for me. And
I can't do that. I
thing
could
is,
never
if
do
it's
that.
someone's personality,
Then sadly, like our personalities do not mesh, and
but
we're
is
gonna
it
clash about this.
is it a
It's a deal breaker.
Is it a deal breaker?
It's a deal breaker.
I'm trying for it not to be a deal breaker. What's a deal breaker is you disappearing.
The problem, here's the thing, man.
I don't expect you to text me at the party, but just like on your way, just be like, okay. And in the morning, I cannot be getting the message at 3 p.m. on Saturday that you're fine.
No, you see, that's the thing. Like, before I got into my relationship, I was in the streets. I was a party animal, whatever. But then, my girlfriend told me, like, okay, dude, you can party. Do whatever you want, right? Just let me know what's happening with you, man.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I was still a party animal, whatever. So I would never, like, I'd always, like, maybe text her later. And I realized at some point, I'm like, oh, dude, if you keep going on like this, it's going to be the end of the relationship. This is going to be, that's a deal breaker for her. And she matters too much to you. Like, partying is partying, whatever. You can put
Eventually,
that on pause.
you can't put up with it.
She can't put up with it. And, one fight over it was enough for me to be like, you know what, I'm retiring from the game. The streets will see me when the streets see me. Like even my friends now.
But at
Before
what point in the relationship do you demand, I don't like you partying too much. I don't want...
From the very beginning.
From the beginning.
Me personally...
Because the niggas are going to be like, you want to change me.
No, I don't want to change you. Like, it's never want to change you. I want you to go into this with a clear idea of what it is that is expected from you.
Yeah.
Like, from the get-go, partying, you can party. Do your shits. But if you're going to do that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that you need to do as well. If it becomes a problem, it's done.
Yeah, no, I'm saying...
Alright.
I think we should close off. We spoke about a lot of things.
We're going on so many tangents.
Yeah, but I think that's the idea of the conversation. I hope you guys, you learned what we're about. This is about us, and I feel like we are like an allegory or a microcosm of a certain type of young black man.
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone.
You can't speak for everyone, but there is someone out there that resonates with you.
True.
With what you're saying. And they don't have the platform or the media, believe it or not, that actually resonates with them and what they think and what they're going through.
In that case, I'm gonna call them the Gerald gang. GG.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have like a beehive or a navy. I'm just a regular Joe. I'm a de facto content creator, and that's about it. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoy. Please give us feedback. We're about to set up a Twitter account, and we'll set up a hashtag with every episode. 2 hashtags, I think. 1 with the topic, or 3, the episode number, the topic, and the Pink Gentleman Report.
Okay, yeah.
I think we'll do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do that. And we'll try to get it out as frequently as possible.
Like at least we'll try it once a week.
Yeah, once a week, guys. We really want to do it once a week because as well, you know, we don't want this to be a has-been situation.
Not even that, like haphazard rollout. Like people must know. Okay, on this day, new episode dropped.
When the episode is here, we're listening. You know.
No, like it's a Wednesday, or like say it's a Wednesday. Oh shit, it's Wednesday. New episode's coming out. Yeah. Sometime today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're.
Alright, cool. That's it from Mahoons. Follow me at Mahoons 3 MAHUMZ. Number 3. No underscore. It's just the at the beginning. MAHUMZ. Number 3. Not the word number, just 3.
And then like I am that bastard Sibu. So at that bastard Sibu. I'm never gonna change that. I know it's a problematic handle for some people. I'm never gonna.
I think you need a rebrand. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Alright, thanks guys.